Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here on Up with Crim this morning. I'm Channing Curtis. Man, I cannot think of a better way to spend a Friday than, well, down at the Hoop Fest courts, and that's exactly what I am doing this morning. We are bringing you everything that you need to know regarding Hoop Fest ahead of the games happening this weekend. And we do have team coverage for you this morning here on Up with Crim. So, of course, my co-anchor Tim Pham is holding things down for us in the Crim 2 studios. He's going to be sharing with us all of our local news headlines as well as national news headlines throughout the morning. But we also have another team out here this morning enjoying some of the Hoop Fest pregame fun. That's right. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is telling us all about our forecast, and we have Nicole Hernandez who is sharing how Center Court came to be this year. So, Thomas Patrick, the question everybody wants to know is, how's the weather going to be? I'll send things over to you.
Now, I haven't played on a basketball team since I was in the 5th grade.
I don't have a since. I've never played on a basketball team, hence the baby child's basketball.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if they did those drills where one person bounce passes while the other person chest passes at the same time.
I'm in.
Yeah.
You bounce.
I bounce and you chest. Okay, ready, go. Okay, perfect. That's it. That's good enough. Okay, we're ready for Hoop Fest, and we're ready for some great weather as well. That's why I brought out the shades, because we are getting blasted with some sunshine. It took a little while. There was a little bit of cloud cover off to our east for this first hour, but now that has moved off and the sun's getting higher, and there's nothing but blue skies overhead at the moment. That's what we're going to enjoy through the rest of the morning hours here, with our current temperatures starting to climb even closer to 60 degrees as of this hour. It's going to be one of those days where the morning warms very, very quickly, but we should top out at around 75 degrees or so for today. Now, we did run into some very, very light rain during the morning hours, but that has already since moved off into areas of North Idaho. It has cleared the Coeur d'Alene area as of now, but if you're heading towards 4th of July Pass and towards Silver Valley, you are still going to run into some very light showers as of the current moment here, but that'll be passing along and shouldn't be lasting for even much longer for North Idaho. So it's just going to be sunny and 75 for the rest of the day today, but expect some slightly warmer conditions over the course of this weekend, 80s and perhaps even 90s into next week. We got your Hoop Fest forecast and beyond all coming up in just a couple minutes, but for now, let's send things over to the other side of Hoop Fest, which is where Channing is standing by.
All right, thank you, Thomas. Now, as so many of us are really, really excited about these games happening this weekend, just like before any game, before you get ready for any game, you have some pre-game routines or rituals that you got to do first. So, a lot to get to this morning, so let's start breaking it down for you, everything that you need to know regarding this weekend. So, before you and your squad can ever take to the court, the first thing that you need to do is check in. So, team check-in is going to be at the plaza area of the pavilion in Riverfront Park. So, today, check-in will be held from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. And tomorrow you can check in from 6:30 a.m. until 2 p.m. But heads up, tomorrow's check-in is only for out-of-town teams. If you live in Spokane or the Spokane area, you must check in today. Again, that check-in is from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. today. Now, in order to check in, the only thing that you'll need to bring with you is your team confirmation, and that will allow you to pick up your official tournament bracket as well as player t-shirts. You don't want to miss out on those. Now that you've checked in, though, if you need help finding your court this weekend, checking your bracket, or simply finding out where the bathrooms are, all you need to do is download the free Hoop Fest 2022 app. This app is going to provide you with a map with all of the Hoop Fest activities and courts. This is also where you can go to get your bracket information. In order to do that, all you'll have to do is search for your team name, and from there you'll be able to see who you'll be playing against in each round. Now, for families who are going to be spectators this weekend, this app is going to be extremely beneficial for you. It'll help you find not only courts where you'll want to see games going on, but it'll also help you find things like beverage stations and even the restrooms that are closest to your court. Again, this app is completely free. Now, another thing, especially for whether or not you're a spectator, a visitor, or if you're playing in the games, you're going to want to stay tuned to some traffic alerts. There are some key traffic alerts and some road closures that are going to be going on, especially around the downtown area. So all of them are highlighted right here on this map for you. Most major downtown roads are going to be closed. We cannot emphasize that enough. Most downtown roads will be closed this weekend. They're going to shut down starting at 6:30 p.m. tonight, and those roads will remain closed through Sunday at 10 p.m. Now, if you happen to live downtown, work downtown, or you park your car in the downtown area, you have to move your vehicle by 6:30 tonight or it will be towed. Now, Hoop Fest attendees are encouraged to take the STA buses or the shuttles, similar like we did for Bloomfest, in order to get around during this weekend with all of these road closures happening in the downtown area. STA is even selling all-day transit passes for just $2 on Saturday and on Sunday. Now, aside from the normal Hoop Fest games, there are going to be several other events happening this weekend as well. You can watch Hoop Fest's best athletes defy gravity at the Northern Quest Center Court in the Pavilion. Now, the qualifying round is happening tomorrow. That is Saturday at 2 p.m. The finals are happening on Sunday. And don't forget Numerica Cash Dash. That's right, it is still happening. You still have a chance to win some money. The finale will be held tomorrow starting at 11 a.m. at Center Court. Don't miss out on your chance to potentially win, get this, $1,500. And of course, you can watch the championship games happening at Center Court in the Pavilion on Sunday after about 3:30. Now, of course, we're going to be continuing our team coverage all morning long here on Up with Krim from all of the different courts, breaking down everything that you need to know for this weekend. However, if you want that information sent directly to you, we're making it very easy for you. All you have to do is text the word Hoop Fest to the number 509-448-2000. We'll send you a link right to your phone with the very latest information, sending you everything that you need to know. Now, Tim Pham, last hour you asked me, you put me on the spot, and you asked me what my team name would be if I were playing in Hoop Fest. That's easy. Channing's Champions.
Oh, okay.
It's a great alliteration. It's perfect.
Mine's Tim's Trophies, all right?
What would yours be?
Tim's Trophies. I'm taking it from you.
I love it.
All right, Channing, thanks so much. I'm really looking forward to hanging out and checking out Hoop Fest this weekend. We'll check back with you in just a little bit. In the meantime, let's get you caught up on today's big headlines in today's Morning Rush. More news in less time. Happening today, the Supreme Court is set to release more decisions. Now, they haven't announced which decisions will come down today, but we do know 9 cases are left to be decided this term. The High Court begins its recess in early July. The city of Spokane set up new fencing under the bridge near Division and Sprague after campers set up in the area. This is similar to what was set up under the Brown Street Bridge. A city spokesperson told KREM 2, city crews have struggled to keep the area clean and safe. City Council is expected to consider the lease for the East Trent Avenue shelter on Monday. Washington State is creating a new task force to combat organized retail theft. In the last year, retail thefts cost businesses more than $2.5 billion. The new group will focus on organized crime rings and work to stop them. The Department of Homeland Security says many of the stolen goods are usually resold online. The task force is holding its first meeting in 2 weeks. Well, with the warm temperatures expected this weekend, it's also a good reminder to keep your pets safe. The National Weather Service shared this really important graphic here. It shows you how hot the pavement can get. Even in 77 degrees in the air, the equivalent on the pavement can be 125 degrees. So one way you can check if it's too hot for your pet is to press your palm against the pavement for at least 7 seconds. And you can usually get a good indication if it's too hot for you, it's probably too hot for your pet's paw. And that's a look at your morning rush.
With the second pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga University.
Wow, wow, wow. We are so proud of him. There it is, Zags fans. The Oklahoma City Thunder selected Chet Holmgren in the NBA Draft last night. Now, Holmgren was the second overall pick. And Holmgren is now the highest Gonzaga draft pick ever. Previously, the Zags' highest drafted player was, of course, Adam Morrison at number 3 back in 2006. Several sports outlets reported Holmgren and his agent wanted to be selected by the Thunder. Chet says there is one similarity that he loves between the Bulldogs and the Thunder.
Oklahoma fan base and community, reminds me a lot of Gonzaga and our community that we had there. Super rowdy fans that, are diehard for their organization, and, I'm proud to represent them.
Well, Gonzaga is now the only program in the country with back-to-back top 5 draft picks. Last year, the Orlando Magic selected Jalen Suggs with the 5th overall pick. Chet wasn't the only Zag to be drafted last night. In fact, the Indiana Pacers drafted Andrew Nembhard with the 31st pick. The current Zags were very excited to see their 2 former teammates headed to the big leagues.
It's definitely fun to see, the guy that was next to you achieving his dreams at the next level and going to the NBA. So, it definitely gives you motivation and shows where you can go with this program.